Thomas's conventional field goal, and Bart Starr lost more than just a game. He lost his job. 1984, and we go from markholes to miracles for more madness on the midway as the Packers parlay a prayer. 1985, requiem for a runaway refrigerator as the Bears plug in and electrify America. The fridge follows up by catching a frozen rope and triggering violent eruptions. Gentlemen, this is war, and all is fair. Be prepared for anything and everything when the Packers battle the Bears. Stay tuned for our next chapter in this exciting adventure.
9:45! Set!
Not a seat to be had in Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin for the continuation of the longest rivalry in the NFL, and for a change, one that means something today. It's the Chicago Bears against the Green Bay Packers. The Vikings and Bears tied for the lead, but it is possible for the Packers after today to move into a three-way tie for first in the NFC Central Division. And good afternoon again, everyone. I'm Dick Stockton along with Dan Fouts, and a chance now to bring this rivalry up to date. And a main concern for the Bears is the condition of their star running back, Neil Anderson. He has a broken finger on his left hand. What does that mean for the Bears today?
Well, it's not only on his left hand, it's his index finger on his left hand, which is important for wrapping it around the point of the ball when he carries it. And he's a natural left-hander. But Neil Anderson's got to have a big day today. He's got to go over 100 yards because that'll do two things for the Bears. Number one, it'll take the pressure off of Jim Harbaugh. And number two, it'll keep that Bear defense fresh.
Now, the Green Bay Packers want to break that 8-game losing streak against the Bears. And in talking with Lindy and Fonte yesterday, what did you come away with as far as his plan of beating Chicago?
Well, number one, they have to execute their offense perfectly. Absolutely no turnovers. Lindy's system is now in full gear, and with Mikowski, Fullwood, and Sharp having career years, the Packers really are loaded for bear.
We're going to have some rain today, overcast skies. It is not that cool. As a matter of fact, 53 degrees, but a stiff wind of 26 miles per hour going from right to left. As the Packers win the toss, Kevin Butler will get set to kick off for Chicago. Deep for Green Bay, Vince Workman, he's on the right, and Brent Fullwood, their star running back. Hitting over to Fullwood at the goal line. Nearly bringing it out to the 30-yard line, where Harper and Paul make the stop. The quarterback, Don Mikowski, leading the NFL in yardage and in touchdowns thrown. His offensive line this afternoon. Up front, Ken Rutgers, Rich Moran, Blair Bush, Ron Hallstrom, Alan Weingrad. The tight end is Ed West. Keith Woodside and Brent Fullwood are the running backs. The outside receivers, Perry Kemp and Sterling Sharp. Query will be the third wide receiver, and Fontenot will play considerably in the backfield. First and 10 on the 27 of Green Bay. Passing on first down, Mikowski going deep for Sharp, and it's knocked away at the last minute by Donnell Wolford. 4 rookies, and there's a penalty marker down on the first play of the game. 4 rookies starting again for Chicago. And a personal foul will be marked off against the Bears. Referee is Tom Dooley.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 95 defense, first down.
That's Richard Dent, who comes armed with a great new contract, but it'll be 15 yards.
One thing Richard Dent told us yesterday is he has a score to settle with Ken Rutgers. He feels that last year when Dent broke his leg, in that second game in Chicago that Ken Rutgers gave him a bit of a cheap shot, and that's how he broke his fibula.
Carl Bland comes in at wide receiver. He's to the bottom of your picture. First down on the 43. Brent Fullwood hit immediately by Steve McMichael. And a gain of about 2 yards at the most. The Bears defense, Trace Armstrong, McMichael, William Perry, and Richard Dent. The front four, Ron Rivera, Mike Singletary, rookie John Roper. Donnell Wolford and Marcus Paul are rookies in the secondary. Bestie Jackson and Dave Dewerson also there, with Stinson and Tate the extra backs. Second down and 8 for the Packers on their 45. And another play fake. Makowski completes his pass to Perry Kemp, and that'll be a first down for the Packers in Bear territory and a gain of 15.
That's the one part of Makowski's game that really will give the Bears some problems today, because he has the ability to get out wide and throw on the run as he did there, but also in the pocket he has nice instincts as far as buying extra time in that pocket, and that gives his offensive line a lot of confidence.
He was a 10th round draft pick the same year that Harbaugh and many other stars were drafted much higher in the NFL. First down on the Bear 40. They bring Woodside wide to the right. Fullwood. And he'll lose a couple as the Bears clamp down on the run.
But what we've seen on the first two first down situations today, the Bears have blitzed both times. What they want to do is force the Packers into the long passing situations, and if they didn't get that personal foul on the first play from Dent, they would have had a long situation that time.
We asked Mike Ditka, Bears are on defense right now, whether he's going to call the plays. He says, we'll let you know around noon. It'll be a little after noon. Central time, of course.
Well, he's got a play sheet in his hand. I would bet on him calling the plays at least to start this one.
Second down and 13. Woodside with his first carry. He gets inside the 40 with John Roper, makes the stop. That'll bring up third and long for the Packers. Lindy Infante and the Packers getting his complicated offense down pat, and they bring in Herman Fontenot out of the backfield, a big third down man.
And you saw the two quarterbacks, number 10 Blair Keel and number 8 Anthony Dilwig. One guy is giving a live signal, the other is giving a dummy signal.
Third down and 8. Here's a safety blitz. Makowski will run. Makowski brought down finally by Marcus Paul after a 22-yard scamper. And an exciting first down for the Packers. Stinson with the pressure.
Take a look at this blitz from the right side of our camera. This is Richard Dent, and from the just beyond him comes Stinson up in the middle. But the Packers, because it's a blitz, saw that the Bears were in man-to-man defense. Now this is something unusual you won't see many quarterbacks do. Instead of stepping out of bounds safely, Makowski turned it back inside and picked up about an extra 5 yards.
He stepped out of bounds at the 24, so give him a 14-yard pickup. Nonetheless, the Packers have a first down on the 24 out of two tight end offense. Makowski wide open is pulled to the air. Touchdown, Green Bay. 24-yard score. Only his third reception of the season and his first touchdown catch. And Mike Ditka finds his team trailing 6-0. Chris Jackie with a point after. Don Bracken in the hold. And it's It's 7-0 Packers. Didn't take long, and this place is rocking. Packers move out in front of the Bears, 7-0.
A couple of big plays on that drive. Number one was the personal foul against Richard Dent, and then Mikowski on a 14-yard scramble put the Packers in excellent field position.
And Flynn Didier with a two tight end offense wide open for 24 yards. Jackie will kick off for the Packers. Back deep for the Bears. Their star kick returner Dennis Gentry along with Thomas Sanders. They're lining up in an I. They want Gentry to get the ball. Gentry on the 10. And a fine return out to the 32-yard line. Burnell Dent on the stop for Green Bay.
Take a look at this touchdown. This is Didier on the line of scrimmage, but this is the man right here, Doerson, that has him in coverage. The Packers are going to fake the ball to Fullwood to the right side. Watch how Doerson is looking into the backfield and doesn't notice Didier getting deep on the corner route. This is a perfect pass and 6 points for the Packers.
Jim Harbaugh, the quarterback for the Bears, 1st and 10 on the 32. He'll pass on 1st down. And Dennis McKinnon makes a super catch in Green Bay territory and a pickup of 19 yards to the 49. Murphy and Stills make the tackle. Up front for the Bears. Hobart, Bortz, Hilgenberg the center. Thayer and Van Horn on the right side, and James Thornton the tight end. Neil Anderson is joined by Brad Muster in the backfield. Ron Morris and Dennis McKinnon, who just made that catch, the wide receivers. Gentry and Davis, other wide outs. 1st and 10 on the 49 of Green Bay. And a flea flicker. Anderson back to Harbaugh. And Capozzo, the tight end, winds up with the ball and is stopped, and a loss of 3 yards on the play. Brian Noble made the tackle, number 91 for the Packers.
Good job by the Packers not buying all this flea flicker fake here, as Anderson gets the handoff and will pitch it back to Harbaugh. The crossing pattern is what Harbaugh wanted, but now the pass pressure starts to get to him. Does a nice job of keeping his wits about himself. Dumping off to his tight end Boso, and score one for the Packer defense there.
Packer defense has been not as effective as their offense this year, and now the Bears face a 2nd down and 13. The handoff is to Neil Anderson, carrying the ball in his left hand. The hand with the broken finger, and he gets to the Packer 45, where Anderson and Holland, a couple of linebackers, make the stop.
But watch how he carries this ball with both hands to begin with, and then as he is about to get hit, puts it in his left hand, and then wraps the ball with his right hand over the top. Nice job of protecting the ball and knowing that he's got a bit of a limitation here with that left hand. There's the cover-up as he's about to get contact.
It'll be 3rd and 6. Out of the shotgun. Harbaugh's pass knocked away by Mark Lee, and a penalty marker down. Ron Morris was the intended receiver, and they may get Lee for a push in the secondary. And that'll be a 1st down for the Bears.
Pass interference. Number 23 defense. 1st down.
Well, he said number 23, Tiger Green, but it's Mark Lee, number 22 here. And this is really close coverage here. But the bump comes just before the ball arrives, and that's a good call.
1st down on the Packer 40. 7-0 Green Bay, 1st quarter. to Muster out of the backfield, and Brad Muster is close to another Chicago first down at the 30-yard line. Brian Noble and John Anderson make the stop. Let's check the Green Bay defense. Up front, Blaze Winter, Bob Nelson, and Robert Brown. John Anderson, Brian Noble, Johnny Holland, and their best pass rusher, Tim Harris, the linebackers. Lee and Dave Brown, the cornerbacks. Mark Murphy and Ken Stills are the safeties, with Green and Jakes in nickel situations.
They're going to need to get some type of pass rush from somebody besides Tim Harris today. The Bears will be double teaming him most of the time, but Harbaugh's had a lot of time to throw so far.
And Harris likes to talk it up out there. Second down and 1. Muster, and he'll be knocked back for a loss. Tim Harris, that time.
Big play by the big play guy, Tim Harris, number 97, right here as he makes penetration here. Beats the block from Thornton, then gets in the guard's way, boards there, and then makes the tackle. Can't ask for more than that.
And a loss of 3. Third down and 4. 6 defensive backs in for Green Bay. Goes to Gentry, the short man in the shotgun, and he has a first down for the Bears inside the 30. Blaze Winter on the stop, and the Bears are using all their bag of tricks, it seems, early on in this game.
Well, watch, this is a direct snap to number 29 here, and that's not an easy snap to make for Hilgenberg, but he does it perfectly. Little trap play up the middle. Now Gentry's instincts as a running back, as he has the patience to wait for his block, gets up the field and picks up a Bear first down.
Lindy and Fonte said we have to have a lot of poise against surprises the Bears may show us. They've shown them a few. First down on the 28 at Green Bay. Muster. Stopped immediately by Noble and Harris. And the Green Bay linebackers are in tough against the run.
We'll take a look at their big play guy, Tim Harris, number 97. Again, it's a trap play. The Bears are one of the better trap running teams, but they've got to make a block on Anderson has got to make that block on Tim Harris.
Bears started on their own 32. They face second down and 9 on the Green Bay 28. Anderson. He'll be caught from behind by Johnny Holland, and it looked as if Harbaugh might have bobbled the snap from center.
Yes, he did, and that threw the timing of that play off. But the Packers' pursuit might have held that play to no gain anyway. But you were talking about the surprises in the Bears. When you have a rivalry like this, you're so familiar with tendencies, and to make those tendencies to cross people up, you've got to come with some surprises. Already today we've seen a flea flicker from the Bears and a direct snap in the shotgun formation. So the Bears are full of surprises today.
Third down and 10. Harbaugh told the referee he can't hear. Timeout called, and the Bears have called a timeout.
And Jay Hilgenberg is very upset about that because the 30-second clock was running down. Harbaugh saw it, had to call timeout. He appealed to the referee, Tom Dooley, that he could not hear to get his signals off. But Dooley pointed to the center, which means he was not convinced that it was too loud. You have to run the play, and the clock runs down, and the Bears have to burn their first time out.
Interesting, Dan, that in preseason, this was a major story, and then since the season has started, we really haven't had many, if any, incidents regarding a player on the visiting club trying to get a play off amidst the crowd noise.
And this is not a dome stadium. That rule really came into being because of the dome stadiums like Seattle and the Houston Astrodome. But this is the old-fashioned stadium, the open-air bowl. But these fans, they're going to be here all day long. One thing as you come into a ball game like this as an opponent, you talk about taking the crowd out of the game early. Well, I think Mike Ditka knows that these people are not going anywhere today.
Except maybe tailgating after it's all over. used up a timeout. It'll be 3rd and 10. There's the drive thus far. Used up over 6 minutes. The give is to Anderson. Neil Anderson gets a big first down. Close to the 10-yard line. Mark Murphy finally grabs a hold on it and a gain of 18 yards.
Well, this is why Neil Anderson is the leading rusher in the National Football Conference, as he breaks about 3 or 4 tackles coming right at you here, carrying the ball in his left hand, having trouble making sure there's a nice shift of the ball into his right hand. Great instincts.
And when he got up, he was shaking that left hand. It might have been jarred a bit. First down on the 11 for the Bears. Anderson again. There's the time remaining in the first quarter. Blaze Witter makes the tackle that time on Anderson.
Both offenses in this game are off to good starts, and you would expect that coming in. Both teams are ranked very high in offensive statistics and scoring.
Bears are bringing in their tight end. That was James Thornton that time. Caposo the other. And it's Mike Ditka who has the play sheet in his hand. 2nd down and 7. The 11th play of this drive coming up. It's Harbaugh. And he did the right thing against tremendous Green Bay pressure ultimately. Blaze Witter came in on Harbaugh, who threw it away out of the end zone, and that will bring up 3rd down.
Again, you've got to give a lot of credit to the patience of the Packer defense that time. Because of the sprint out off the play action fake, very often defensive backs will come up and try to make the tackle on the quarterback, but their job is to stay back in their zones and prevent that touchdown pass. That time, the Packer defensive backs did a super job of covering everybody.
And without a tight end, Gentry brings in the play. 6 backs in there for Green Bay defensively on 3rd and 7. Harbaugh pressured by Harris. Has to get rid of it in a hurry, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And Harbaugh threw that ball away, but he almost made one of those young quarterback type of mistakes where you don't throw it far enough away. Tiger Green made a break on that ball and almost came up with an interception.
Kevin Butler will try a 25-yard field goal. He has connected on 18 straight field goal attempts. Holding is Mike Tomczak. The kick was nearly blocked, but it goes through for a field goal, and the Bears score. With 3:32 remaining in the first quarter, it is now the Packers 7 and the Bears 3. Packers lead the Bears, and we've already had some fireworks in this game. And
going to the bigger spikes, the field was covered before the ball game. Had a little bit of rain last night. We may get some more today, but you got to go to those bigger spikes when the field is any bit muddy, and it looks like it's in good shape. But this is a real good indication that the bigger spikes are needed.
Kevin Butler will kick off. Back deep, Vince Workman and Brent Fullwood. On the bounce, it's picked up by Vince Workman. And the rookie running back slips prior to getting to the 25-yard line. And we nearly have a mini wrestling match going on away from the ball. James Campen and Steve Heiss briefly went at it.
You saw Workman fall down. Maybe he'll come over the sidelines and get the bigger cleats on.
It'll be Packer ball when we come back to Lambeau Field in just a moment. Dick Stockton and Dan Fouts with the Packers leading the Bears 7-3. Kevin Butler's field goal, his 19th in a row, sets a Bears club record. Now the Packers start from their 25 behind Don Mikowski. Brent Fullwood going outside, picking up close to the full 10 yards that time. Mike Singletary and Dave Duerson bring down the Packers' best running back.
Really important for the Packers to establish a ground game today. Playing against the Bears, they have an outstanding pass rush, and especially since their big game last week against the Rams when Dent came back and really gave them a good push up front. The Packers don't want to put Mikowski in too much risk in that pocket.
Packers had kind of abandoned their running attack, which they established early in the season. Second and less than one, 2 tight ends for Green Bay. And a great block by Woodside. Mikowski throws it away, but Keith Woodside prevented Mikowski from getting sacked in a big loss.
You know, here we are. We're got a game between the Packers and the Bears. It's 2nd and 1. And what do you call? Well, if you're Bart Starr, you fake the ball to Taylor up the middle and you throw the post to Max McGee, right? Well, the ghosts are still here. The Packers faked the ball up inside and went for a pass. Nice job by Mikowski showing his development as a quarterback, noticing he doesn't have anything down the field and keeping it in a short yardage situation by throwing the ball away.
James Campen is a tackle eligible for the Packers now on 3rd and 1. And Brent Fullwood gets the first down. Crosses to 35. Donnell Wolford up from the secondary making the tackle. Trace Armstrong also there.
Fullwood picks up this first down, and he's having an outstanding year as well, averaging 4.5 yards per carry. He gets in behind Michael Haddix, and he clears the path for him, and just needing 1 or 2 yards, just headed right up the field, picks up the first down.
2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. Fullwood off to a tremendous start this year, on his way to a possible 1,000-yard season. Michael Haddix replaces him in the backfield. First down, Packers on their 37. And the call goes to Haddix. Former Philadelphia Eagle picks up a couple of yards, and Mike Singletary meets him head-on along with his friend Richard Dent.
You know, Haddix is one of the Plan B acquisitions, and the Packers really helped themselves this year in the offseason by picking up a number of offensive players, especially offensive linemen, by the Plan B system. And what that did is it improved their team immediately, but it also improved the level of competition. So the guys that were already here were now looking behind them to see what is it behind them in the line, and made them play better.
Second down and 7. Mikowski slips, but he completes it to Sharp, and Sterling Sharp, Packers' leading receiver on his first catch of the day, is stopped at the 45, about 2 yards short of a first down. Donnell Wolford, the rookie cornerback, brought him down. Jay Hilkenberg on the sideline looking at the photo.
Checking out what defensive fronts the Packers are running against the Bears, and trying to get an idea based upon tendency. This is a excellent way to figure out what they're going to do on the next series of downs.
Vic Shapura has replaced William Perry up front for the Bears. 3rd and 2 for the Packers. Mikowski completes the pass. He may have a first down. And it was Jeff Query, the rookie wide receiver. Let's see where the forward motion is marked.
This is going to be really close because he caught the ball and was blasted backwards. And the officials will bring the chains in.
They may be short, but they're going to measure. Official timeout.
Official timeout for measurement.
Of a football. It'll be 4th down.
Okay, this is Query and Sharp. This is a little pick play as Sharp comes and clears out for Query. Now watch the grab with the fingertips and then the big hit that knocks him back by Dave Duerson. There's no news there. Duerson makes big hits all the time.
It's 4th down, and The gun will sound ending the first quarter, so Lindy Infante will have some time to mull this over. It looks like he was going to go for it. We'll find out what he does on the other side. The end of the first quarter, Packers 7, Bears 3. We're back, start of the second quarter, and a big decision made by Lindy Infante as he's going to go for the first down on 4th and inches in his own territory. It's on his own 47.
Gives you some idea of the confidence level of Lindy Infante going for this on 4th down.
2 tight ends, a tackle eligible. Haddix and Fullwood in the backfield. Delay of the game call, and the Packers will punt. How many times have we seen this? Several this year, Dan, in our games.
So much for confidence in his offense, huh? Just trying to draw him off sides with a hard count by the quarterback. And the Bears, they're a veteran football team. They flinched a little bit there to begin with, but I think they sniffed that out pretty quickly.
So Dennis McKinnon will go back and receive the kick from Don Brackett on 4th down. McKinnon replaces Mark Green, who's on injured reserve. And a fine kick by Brackett. McKinnon on his 10. Good coverage. Following that 49-yard kick by the Packers special teams, Brian Noble and Van Jakes in on the stop. So Lindy Infante will be satisfied with a 7-3 lead and will be back to Green Bay.
By building a better car. Zenith, the quality goes in before the name goes on. And by Extra Gold Draft, the party time beer with a full tilt taste.
And welcome back to Lambeau Field in Green Bay. This is Dick Stockton with Dan Fouts. The big rivalry that has a lot of significance today as the Chicago Bears trail the Green Bay Packers 7-3. Packers scored on a touchdown pass from Don Mikowski to Clint Didier. Kevin Butler kicked his 19th consecutive field goal as Tim Harris leads the cheers and does a lot of talking on the field for Green Bay.
Well, he really does. He's trying to get the wave started here. Good luck today on it. Chilly for a wave, isn't it?
Only the second possession of the game for the Bears. They start from their 18-yard line. Play action. Harbaugh fires it. Incomplete. And it was James Thornton, the intended receiver, and Tim Harris was in his face again.
This is the type of athlete that Tim Harris is. Watch him, number 97 here, working against Jimbo Covert. And now leaping over Neil Anderson, getting up off the ground and almost getting to Harbaugh before he can get rid of that ball.
Harbaugh hit his first 3 passes, then has missed his latest 3. 2nd down and 10. Packers pick up the blitzes. Anderson, incomplete pass, it's ruled. Robert Brown was in on the play.
One of the other problems that Neil Anderson will have today is hanging on to passes. This is a good indication here right now that he's going to have some problems. As you see, he has the index finger and his middle finger taped together on his left hand. Again, a little play action pass. Anderson does a nice job of picking up the blitz to begin with, and then he just can't grab onto the ball. Probably a good thing he didn't, because Robert Brown was right there for the tackle.
Anderson leaves the game, and 4 wide receivers for the Bears. Harbaugh throws it behind his intended receiver, Wendell Davis, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, I'm sure that's what Lindy Infante wants his defense to do, is to get Harbaugh into obvious passing situations. 3 and out for the Packer defense.
Maury Buford kicking, and Jeff Query goes back deep for the Packers. Not a long kick, but a high kick, and a fair catch called for by Query right around midfield. That one went only 38 yards and will give the Packers a good starting point for their next possession coming up. Green Bay leading 7-3.
Because Americans want to succeed, not just survive.
Mikowski has started off 4 for 5 with a touchdown pass. Kevin Butler has accounted for the Bears' score with a field goal, and Clint Didier with his first touchdown reception of the year. Packers lead 7-3 early here in the second quarter, and Dan, the offense has started off flashy and impressive, and then the defenses seem to have taken over.
Well, they made adjustments, and the proper adjustments. The other thing is that was not a bad punt from Maury Buford. The problem is that it was going into this 25-mile-an-hour wind, and the Packers are now in great field position.
And the wind at their backs as they start their next possession. And so far, the Pack has handled the surprises shown by the Bears. Double tight end, 1st and 10 at midfield. Mikowski, penalty marker down, overthrows Sterling Sharp. He was covered there by Donnell Wolford, but there's a flag down. And it'll set the Packers back holding against Green Bay.
This is an audible from Mikowski, and he sees this bump and run from Wolford on Sterling Sharp. Watch the technique of releasing inside and getting down the field.
Number 75, offense, first down.
But nice job of Sharp getting off, and Mikowski knows that now Sharp has the ability, and maybe later in the game he'll come back to that same type of pass where he sees Wolford in a bump and run. Mikowski makes the audible, Sharp gets off, and it's a big play for the Packers.
Not a big play that time for Ken Rutgers, who was holding. Don't forget, he's going against Richard Dent, who feels he may have a score to settle today. 1st down and 20, back to the 40 for the Packers. Woodside. Little extra effort brings it out to the 45-yard line, where Mike Singletary is there for the stop. He's 2nd down and about 14 now for Green Bay. We'll be watching the Minnesota-LA game as it has a direct bearing on this one in the NFC Central Division. But here are all the scores. Carl Bland is in the game as the 3rd wide receiver. Sharp and Bland are the receivers. 2nd down. Mikowski finally goes out of bounds. Almost did a Houdini, getting away from Bear pursuers, including Steve McMichael and Richard Dent.
And a smile on his face there. Looked like a matador in there for a while. Speaking of matadors, watch the bull rush here from Richard Dent, trying to go right over the top of Rutgers. But this is what we were talking about earlier. This escape ability of Mikowski, buying time, really shows you the type of athletic ability he has.
Well, maybe it is a Houdini for Magic. Loss of 7 yards. 3rd down and 21 for the Packers. Herman Fontenot in the game in the backfield for the Green Bay. Dick Shapura. And obviously the Bears' defensive secondary and linebackers doing a pretty good job downfield.
What they are doing is they're forcing Mikowski away from his first read. Obviously, it's 3rd down and about 20 or so there's not a whole lot of plays that you could call to be successful. Mikowski trying to buy some time, but that secondary, the Bears did an outstanding job of covering those receivers.
It is 4th down, and Don Bracken will kick it away for the Packers. Dennis McKinnon back for the Bears. Chance for McKinnon to return. Penalty markers fly. And McKinnon is upended on his own 45-yard line by Brian Noble. 26-yard return by McKinnon. Tom Dooley will explain the penalty markers. No surprise when you see the flags on a return. Illegal block on the receiving team.
And the remarkable thing,
Holding number 49 on the receiving team. First down.
David Tate.
Timeout.
and both referees simultaneously threw flags on David Tate.
We'll be back to Lambeau Field after these messages. Leader Tim Harris has gotten the Packer fans to start the wave effectively enough.
I've never seen anything like that before. From the middle of the field, having the crowd going around in circles.
Bears started from their 28, first down. Thomas Sanders is in the backfield and gets the call up to the 30-yard line where Brian Noble making the stop. Anderson on the sidelines.
One thing we'll see from the Packers a lot today is number 37, Mark Murphy, coming on the safety blitz on first down. Here he forces the play back inside for very little gain.
Murphy had a big game and a big interception last week in the win over Detroit. Second down and 7. Harbaugh's pass. And a fine catch that time by Capboso. Not for much, just a couple of yards. John Anderson on the stop. By the way, Jerry Boyarsky has replaced Bob Nelson at nose tackle for the Packers. Neil Anderson back in with extra receivers. Harbaugh had missed 5 in a row before completing that pass. It'll be 3rd and 5. Fires away, intended for Dennis McKinnon. He was chased by Mark Murphy. Once again, the Packers put on good pressure. Tim Harris, and it'll be 4th down.
Boy, both defenses have really settled down in this ball game. Shut down their opposing offenses. Tim Harris is starting to play like the Pro Bowl player he hopes to become. Almost came up with a sack that time.
Corey Buford will kick. Jeff Query deep for the Packers. Fine kick by Buford. On the 20, Query. Penalty marker down, and Query is ridden out of bounds. A 48-yard kick by Buford. And we'll have a penalty.
And a man leaving the offensive line of scrimmage too soon against the Bears, and that really hurts.
We have a member illegally downfield on the kicking team, number 67.
Jerry Fontenot of the Bears. So you're right, that was a great kick.
A 48-yarder into this win. We saw earlier Buford only had a 38-yarder, so that really hurts the Bears as he's going to have to hit another one. Buford really has been kicking well for the Bears lately, especially that game last week against the Rams when he averaged about 45 yards on 8 punts. He looks like he's really got his timing and his technique down.
Where he goes back. Buford was a plan B pickup by the Packers, and they let him go. Back to Chicago. But he gets off another good one. Not quite as good, but pretty effective. Query on the 34. And another penalty marker goes. Nothing unusual when these two teams play. That kick went 39 yards, and it was brought back 14 yards by Query, where John Shannon made the stop.
Well, both teams are hurting themselves now with penalties. The Packers would have been in excellent field position without this penalty, but now they're going to be backed up a bit.
35 on the receiving team. First down. Timeout.
Michael Haddix. So each team commits a penalty, and that'll set Green Bay back. 11:14 remaining in the second. 6 years at 4-4 with that lead over the Bears early here in the second quarter.
Mikowski having an outstanding year, and he's off to a good start today. The big thing he hasn't done today is taken a sack or thrown an interception.
Brent Fullwood is the running back on the 34 first down. Chased by Dent. And the pass caught. No, incomplete is the call on Sterling Sharp at midfield. Donnell Wolford is shadowing him.
Take a look at just the catch on this play, and watch how Sharp works himself free as Mikowski's buying time again in the pocket. Ball comes in just a little bit low, and the referee on the far side, who had a better look at it than we did with that camera angle, made the call.
Sharp, the big threat, watched by Wolford, and the Bears have a lot of confidence in the rookie who did such a fine job against Henry Eller to the Rams last week. Now we're going to take a look upstairs on the replay to see whether indeed there might have been a reception.
Here's another look at it. Sharp just finding a dead area on the field. Wolford closing fast. It's impossible to tell from that angle, but maybe from this angle. Mikowski throwing on the run back across the field. Very difficult throw. Ball comes in a little low, and it hits the ground. Nice call.
45 seconds. 3 for 12 seconds.
Bill Parkinson is the replay official. Ball was trapped, it seemed, and the 45-second clock is put down to 12 now. Sterling Sharp knows as well as anyone.
He could have told him that was a good call. Saved us some time, too.
Woodside is near the top of your screen on 2nd and 10. Brent Fullwood with the carry. Brings it out close to the 40-yard line where it'll be 3rd down. Started the day with overcast skies, a threat of rain. They expect some. It brightened for a while. Now it's becoming more ominous. Lambeau Field, where some great teams and great games have been played in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Sellout crowd of over 57,000 for the renewal of the Packers and the Bears. Dick Stockton and Dan Fouts, as Chicago tries to keep at least a share of the lead in the NFC Central. 3rd down and 5. Pass is caught by Query, and the rookie wide receiver on the slant in picks up 13 yards into Bear territory. Donnell Wolford makes the tackle.
Well, Wolford is playing against Query. Maybe he thought that he didn't have to work as hard because this isn't Sterling Sharp. But what Query gives the Packers, in Don Mikowski's opinion, are the best hands on the team and the best speed. First down, Pack in Bear territory.
Out of Millikan College, that's in Wisconsin. Maybe the first NFL player ever from Millikan. First down, Green Bay. Brent Fullwood looking for room. Came out of the pack, and Donnell Wolford prevented perhaps a touchdown. Fullwood to the 45-yard line of the Bears.
Yeah, it appeared the Bears had him stopped, but he just reverse pivoted, ran away from the refrigerator, and as you said, Dick, Wolford really came up with a big stop there.
I'd run too if I ran into the refrigerator.
definitely bounced off him, didn't he?
Second down. And 6. 2 tight ends for the Pack. Makowski in trouble and throws the ball away as Roper came storming in along with Trace Armstrong.
Ditka's saying that should be a penalty there, throwing the ball away intentionally for the old intentional grounding play. But that's a nice play by Makowski. We're seeing both quarterbacks with the presence of mind, knowing that when they're getting that heat, to get rid of that ball and not take that sack. Every yard here today is important.
It'll be 3rd down and 6. Shapura replaces Perry on the defensive line for the Bears.
Last night and all morning.
4 wide receivers for Green Bay. Fontenot, the intended receiver, and it was Richard Dent tracking down Makowski, and the pass is incomplete. Dewerson covering, and that will bring up 4th down.
It sounds like a broken record, but again, Dent is in there on Makowski. Again, Makowski gets away from him and throws the ball away.
Richard Dent with a big contract, $6.2 million over 5 years, and all he wants is another ring.
And money can't buy that.
Bracken will kick. McKinnon back deep for the Bears.
Keep the money going, beat us go.
Fine kick. Packers will try to keep it in play, and they do. Van Jakes downed it at the 1-yard line, but there's a penalty marker down about midfield.
But the Packers are indicating that it's against the Bears, and nice job by Bracken and Van Jakes to pin the Bears deep on the 1-yard line.
Number 24, Van Jakes down the ball on the 1-yard line.
Dick went 44 yards. More important, down at the 1. Now the penalty. And it's against Chicago.
This is the great thing about a natural grass surface. The ball will die at times. Nice hop there for Van Jakes. And he is in control, and that ball is down on the 1. Nervous time for Jim Harbaugh. No quarterback likes to take the snap from center with his feet in his own end zone.
Neil Anderson will be joined by Matt Suhey, who has come in for his first action in the backfield for the Bears.
And we've already seen Harbaugh juggle a few snaps from center.
Green Bay's defense is clamped down. Harbaugh to throw from his end zone. Gets it away and completes the pass. And it's Matt Suhey, and he has a first down for the Bears, getting out of big trouble. Right now, for an update, let's come check in with Brent Musburger. Brent?
Take a few observations. Detroit continues to play better on the road than at home. They're giving the Oilers all they want. Second touchdown of the game. Pete, with a beautiful scramble, finds Clark open. It was set up by Spielman's recovery of a fumble. So it is 14-7 Detroit. Back to Dick.
All right, Brent, thank you very much. Mark Murphy is on the field. He provided the hit on Matt Suhey and is slow getting up.
And Suhey is walking on Silly Street right now. He's off on the Bears sideline, and I'm sure he has no idea where he's at.
But a gutty call for the Bears on first down on their 1-yard line, especially with Harbaugh slipping and sliding in that end zone.
Oh, outstanding job by that Bear offensive line of giving him about 5 seconds to find Suhey over the middle. The protection is outstanding. Harbaugh staying in the eye of the storm there, and there's the big hit.
Tiger Green will replace Murphy at strong safety. First down on the 12 for the Bears. Pitch. Neil Anderson for a couple. Brian Noble on the stop.
This is what Neil Anderson is looking at as he grabs this pitch from Harbaugh. Wants to carry it in his left hand, but knows that's not a good idea. Takes it in his right hand, and the Packer pursuit keeps him to about a 3-yard gain.
Playing with a broken left index finger, Anderson. 2nd down and 6 on the 16. Pitch again to Anderson. Gets around Harris, but is knocked out of bounds at the 17 by Chuck Cecil, who's alternating with Ken Stills at free safety today.
Here's number 97, Tim Harris. He's going to come in and fight off the block of Brad Muster. And then the old juke play there by Neil Anderson, and see you later, Tim.
Tim Harris has spent his afternoon chasing Harbaugh and getting the crowd into the game. He's succeeded in both. 3rd and 5. Harbaugh gets hit, but completes the pass to Ron Morris, and that'll be good enough for a Bear first down. Just getting out of the nick of trouble against Green Bay's pressure defense.
Harbaugh showing just the type of athlete he is. We really have 2 fine athletes playing quarterback today in Mikowski and Harbaugh. And really, if you change uniforms, you really wouldn't be able to tell them apart unless Mikowski takes that helmet off and we see all that blonde hair. But they're both doing an outstanding job of buying the extra time in the pocket and then throwing the ball well.
First down for the Bears on their 27. Trailing 7-3. Inside handoff. Anderson. And he is crunched hard at the 31-yard line by Chuck Cecil. A hard hit that time.
Whoa. How did that feel, Chuck?
Cecil had been out of action with a hamstring pull, and he's just getting back in this game.
And he is back in this game. Watch this hit on Neil Anderson. No head fake or juke is going to help him here. That's what the Bears and Packers are all about.
Doesn't matter who's in the uniforms. They go at him. 2nd and 5. Anderson, no, that's Muster this time. And Brad Muster across the 35. Maybe short of a first down by a yard. Johnny Holland that time on the stop.
Muster had an outstanding game last week against the Rams, carried the ball or caught passes in 8 straight plays. And what that did for his confidence really gave it a tremendous boost. He's been likened to a guy by the name of Larry Zonka, big, tough, strong running fullback who drags people with him. But Muster is also an excellent pass receiver.
4 men up front for the Packers on 3rd and 1. Anderson goes outside. And after much hard work, gets the first down again for the Bears at about the 40-yard line. Dave Brown ran him out of bounds.
Well, this is what Neil Anderson's all about. He's going to be running on here, sees it all jammed up, and then he'll bounce it outside and just use his own athletic ability to pick up this first down. Slips 1 tackle there, and then now he has enough for the first down, going for extra yards.
He has gained 42 yards on 8 carries. Last week, Anderson didn't go over 100 yards in passing and receiving. Or receiving and rushing. First down at the 40. Good protection for Harbaugh, and he's got Muster. And Brad Muster rambles into Packer territory in a pickup of 17 yards. Chuck Cecil again on the stop.
This is really the added dimension that Muster gives an offense, and the Bears are extremely pleased with his ability out of the backfield as a pass receiver. But one of the indications that tells you a guy can really catch the ball is that he catches it with his hands. Watch this. And now, nice block by McKinnon right there gives him an extra couple of yards.
First down on the Packer 43. Green Bay leading Chicago 7-3. Neil Anderson up the middle. Picks up 3 yards, and Matt Brock making the tackle. Don't forget the Bears started this drive from their own 1-yard line.
They're doing 2 things. They're obviously gaining a lot of yards, but they're taking time off the clock, keeping that very potent Packer offense on the bench.
Less than 4.5 to play in the first half. There's the drive thus far. Matsui returns to the game at fullback. The pitch to Anderson. And he's going to lose a couple. Brian Noble. Boy, is he tough against the run, against anybody.
Noble is number 91, but watch how John Anderson helps string this play out. Forces Anderson to bounce it outside after no hole where he originally wanted to go. Good coordination between the linebackers.
You pointed out a lot of double names. Anderson, Dent, Fontenot on both sides.
We got him here today.
Third down and 7. On the delay, Anderson bobbled the ball. Never got a head start and is stopped by Van Jakes, and that will bring up 4th down for the Bears.
Well, we saw Anderson having trouble with the ball earlier. My question now is how long will Ditka stay with him, because it's obviously affecting his performance as he almost fumbled that ball and never had a chance of picking up the first down. Bears are fortunate they got Thomas Sanders on the sidelines to fill in for Anderson.
Corey Buford will kick from midfield. Jeff Query standing at his 10. Looking for the sidelines. And it is caught by Glenn Kozlowski and down there at the 4-yard line. Great kick, and now the Packers will have a long way to go. Well, the big day of college football action Saturday. Most of the country will see the 7th-ranked Miami Hurricanes against the Pitt Panthers.
Miami killed the East Carolina yesterday 40-10, and they're still one of the country's best teams.
Air Force and BYU to some of the country. That'll be at 2:30 Eastern time.
Well, notable for its matchup of quarterbacks, Air Force and Heisman hopeful D. Dowles. BYU's Ty Detmer lead the nation in passing efficiency.
Someday they'll be household names.
Not in my house. Still checking on Mark Murphy there. That's the old how many fingers do you see, Mark? Probably sees a whole handful.
Packers starting from the 4. Bukowski throwing from the end zone. Keith Woodside with a super catch. Brings it out to the 31 and a gain of 25. Duerson and Marcus Paul on the stop.
Well, this is Packer time of day. The end of the half, the end of the game, the Packers seem to get it in gear. Here's the play action pass. Excellent protection for Bukowski. He steps up, but Woodside really finishes the play off well with a nice grab. And really what that does, it gets the Packers out of the shadow of their goal line. Now with 2 minutes to go, they're in business.
And that is the biggest play of the game from scrimmage by either side. The 2-minute warning is here, and we'll be back to Lambeau Field in just a moment.
Much has changed about the game. best in the business fly. And the airline that takes over 300 college and pro teams to their chosen field is United. Come fly the friendly skies.
I love what you do for me, Toyota. I love how you set me free, Toyota.
Still lead the Bears 7-3, and this is exactly what the Packer-Bear rivalry has been. Low-scoring, hard-hitting, big crunching plays on both sides.
Yeah, we've had a couple of flea flickers. Offense has started out extremely well, but now the defenses really have controlled this ball game in the second quarter. The Packers, though, are in their time of day, though. I got to believe that they're thinking about going down and getting some points here.
And both sides have had to start deep in their own territory. The Bears started from their 1, didn't score, but they moved it out. Mike Singletary on the fence, first down on the 32 for the Packers. Fullwood out of the backfield. Roper grabs a hold of it. Spinning away is Fullwood, who's just shy of the first down. As the sun comes out for one of the few times today. There's Jackie getting set in case Chris is needed for a three-pointer before the half ends.
2nd and 1.
Packers have all 3 timeouts remaining. It'll be 2nd and 1. Bears line up. Fullwood pushes the pile back and gets a first down at the 44. McMichael there. And we'll have a timeout called by the Packers there first. Oh, while Lindy and Fonnie cooks up the next few plays, we'll take a break here at Lambeau Field.
Has a 52-yarder to his credit, so the Pack only need about 15 yards to get him into that position.
1st and 10 for the Packers on their 45. Herman Fontenot out of the backfield. Pass to Query. He gave ground after the reception. He's just shy of midfield. Steve McMichael makes the stop.
Yeah, giving ground's not a good idea because the big guys are coming at you from the other side there. McMichael made that tackle.
And that pass is caught. Now it is ruled incomplete. Aubrey Matthews was the intended receiver. One official said he was good and the other one said no. Tate covering for the Bears.
This is a good call by the referee who said this is not a catch. We're going to check this ball out and it's going to hit the ground. Nice job of acting though by Aubrey Matthews, as there's the ball clearly hits the ground and then he cradles it. Big play, though, coming up, 3rd and about 6.
Makowski steps up, and it's knocked away by Donnell Wolford on the pass intended for Sterling Sharp. And Wolford has done a pretty good job against Sharp in this first half.
Wonderful job by Wolford, number 21. This is why he was picked number 1 by the Bears this year, as he just is all over Sterling Sharp. Left hand comes in and knocks the ball away, and the Packers are forced to punt. But Wolford proving that he is going to become a great corner in this league, especially having to guard the top receiver each week, man on man.
Don Bracken will kick. That's Dennis McKinnon deep for the Bears, with 48 seconds remaining in the first half. And this kick will sail into the end zone. Van Jakes gives chase, a 51-yard kick. Well, the Bears will have another shot from their 20. I want to remind you that at halftime, the NFL Today, Brandon Erb with scores and highlights. Pat O'Brien has the story of why the Phoenix Cardinals are getting burned by their new fans in the desert. That's all coming up at halftime. Bears have 2 timeouts remaining. They've got a pretty good field goal kicker of their own in Butler to try to bring them within a point.
Well, like Jackie, Butler's longest kick of his career is a 52-yarder, but he'll be kicking into the wind, though.
Neil Anderson behind Thayer's block brings it out for a couple. Robert Brown makes the stop for Green Bay.
Well, Ditka says, hey, listen, we're going to be very content with just the 3 points. Field position is against him. The wind is against him. He's got an inexperienced quarterback out there. He's got a running back with a broken finger. Hey, let's just get in that huddle. Let's get into that huddle, out of it, run a play, and then get back in the locker room.
Been a hard-hitting game and no turnovers, and you can see Ditka says don't do anything.
Don't even snap it.
And that'll do it for the first half. No scoring in the second quarter. Bukowski hit Didier with a 24-yard catch to make it 7-0 Green Bay, and then Kevin Butler kicked the field goal for the Bears score. But the second quarter has been 0-0.
Started out as an offensive game. Both teams went down on their opening possessions, got points, but then the defenses have clamped down.
In typical Packer-Bear style. First place perhaps at stake for both teams in the NFC Central Division. So that is the end of the first half here at Lambeau Field with the score, the Packers 7 and the Bears 3.
CBS by Cadillac and your local Cadillac dealer. Discover why the only way to travel is Cadillac style. The good time, great taste of McDonald's. And by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you.
Back at Lambeau Field, where the Packers lead the Bears 7-3. Looked like it might be an offensive show. Defenses have taken over, and we have had hard hitting in this game and some crunching hits, Dan.
Well, it's 7-3 on the scoreboard in favor of the Packers. They're also leading in crunching hits, as you said. This is the first one, Murphy and Suey. Murphy is yet to return. Suey has been back. This is Neil Anderson and Chuck Cecil, who hasn't seen a whole lot of action this year, and I think he's glad to be back.
He's been out with a hamstring pull. And he is showing how glad he is back in the green and gold uniform. So in a 7-3 game like this, what decides a thing like this?
Well, we talked about turnovers, and turnovers will be the deciding factor in this game. Both teams have had 0 so far, but you got a feeling, though, that the quarterbacks have been escaping a lot of trouble, buying time in the pocket. Only 2 sacks so far, both of them when Bukowski was forced out of bounds.
And neither team has been able to run the ball much, as you can look at the halftime statistics. Total yards are close. This is a tight game, and the turnovers 0-0, despite the hitting. The Bears will get a chance to handle the ball first in the second half. Chris Jackie will kick off. There's Thomas Sanders, number 20, and Dennis Gentry, 29, to return for the Bears. Bears have won 8 in a row in this series. That's the longest winning streak in the series. And this kick, aided by the wind, sails out of the end zone, and the Bears will begin from their 20. So Jim Harbaugh, that's what he did in the first half, and this is the first time he has started a game, not because of injury, because he's earned it.
And he was ready for it. He felt that being on the bench and getting a little taste of playing time has really made him hungry to be a starter. He sees the value and how much fun it is being a starting quarterback. He's not going to let this opportunity slip away without a fight.
First and 10 on the 20-yard line. Harbaugh looking for a receiver, and he has one. And still going down the sideline. And a big gain by Brad Muster. And it looked like the Packers might have fallen asleep after the catch, and a gain of 25 for Muster.
Harbaugh showing his maturity as a quarterback, wanted to go deep. Checks off to his outlet receiver, who's Muster. And at 6'3", 235 pounds or so, this is the world's biggest tightrope walker. 25 yards, nice job.
So a first down on the 44 of Chicago. Harbaugh gets rid of it in the nick of time to Muster again. And Muster is out of bounds just in Packer territory. Tiger Green on the stop.
Well, Mustard tried the far sideline with his tightrope act. Here he comes to the weak side here on the Packers sideline. But again, Harbaugh coming to a secondary receiver. Now the Bears get a measure. Cap Boso with a nice shot there on Tiger Green. And maybe they're trying to even up the crunching statistics.
They're down 2-0, as you mentioned. And this time, Mustard on a running play is stopped for no gain by Bob Nelson and Robert Brown up front for the Packers. And by seeing Tiger Green in there, you know, of course, that Mark Murphy has not returned to the game following that hit on Suey in the first half.
3rd and 1.
3rd down and 1 upcoming for the Bears on the Packer 46. Batted in the air and caught. And it'll be a first down, I believe, for the Bears. Cap Boso. John Anderson deflected the ball, and Boso has it, and it may be good enough for a first down, and it is for Chicago. Keith Van Horn, though, is shaken up, Dan.
This is amazing that the intended receiver actually ends up with this pass after it's deflected by John Anderson. Boso is the guy that Harbaugh wanted to go to, and he goes up in the air. That looked like one of those Australian rules football deals where they bounce the ball on the ground and the guys have to jump up in the air for it. But watch Anderson, number 59, that ball deflects off his left shoulder. Nice job of Boso getting a rebounding position and makes the grab.
Keith Van Horn, the veteran of the offensive line, leaves the game, and John Wojciechowski will replace him.
Wojciechowski is very valuable to the Bears because he can play each of those 5 offensive line positions. He's always the first substitute in the game if there's an injury to one of the starters.
There he is. First down on the 44 of the Packers. Play action pass. Harbaugh is going up on top for Morris. And it's knocked away by Mark Lee. Dave Brown also involved in the play as Harbaugh tries to go deep to Ron Morris and a quick score.
Well, we've seen how the wind has affected a couple of kicks so far, and the wind really hangs this ball up in the air. Morris had Lee beat by a couple of yards, but the ball just kind of floated there into the teeth of this 20-25 mile an hour wind, and that gave Mark Lee enough time to recover and make the deflection.
Both of them looking back.
There's Morris. Meanwhile, Keith Van Horn is back in the lineup for the Bears. 2nd and 10. Mustard gets about a yard. That's all. And John Anderson was right there to make the stop. Mark Murphy continues to be worked on, getting some oxygen, hoping that they can get him back in there.
Well, he's one of the harder hitters in the entire National Football League. He probably has a slight concussion on the sidelines, and hopefully he's hoping that oxygen will clear out some of those cobwebs.
3rd down and 9. 4 wide out, 4 wide receivers for the Bears. Pass is incomplete. And that'll be 4th down. Ron Morris, the intended receiver.
4th down.
This game will turn into a field position game where very important for the quarterbacks to take care of that ball. Nice job that time of Harbaugh throwing that ball away. There was just nobody open in that secondary.
You saw Jeff Query, who's had a couple of good runbacks for the Packers backbeat. Corey Buford will punt for Chicago. They're going to let it drop, and the Bears are going to get it down it inside the 10-yard line. And it looks like they had worked on a play to get a man downfield to catch the ball or trap it close to the goal line. That was a 35-yard kick, but the Packers will be inside their 10. They're 7-3 early here in the third. The Minnesota Vikings right now lead the LA Rams 12-7. And in the NFC Central, both the Bears and Vikings are tied for first. The Packers one game behind. Minnesota should lose. Packers win. They would have a three-way tie in the division. But there's a long way to go on this day for both of these games. First and 10 at the 8-yard line. Two tight ends. Perry Kemp, the lone wide receiver on the right. Brent Fullwood slices off tackle for a couple. And it's Steve McMichael on the stop.
A lot of pressure on the Packer offense now to get out of this bad field position. The Bears know that, and they're bunching that line of scrimmage, trying to stop that run.
The word on Mark Murphy is that he has a slight concussion. He wants to get back in the game, and right now the Packer medical people are not sure that that's the best idea. Well, probably it's not, because there's so much communication that has to go on in that secondary, and Murphy has to have his wits about himself. Second down and 8. Again, it's Fullwood. Out across the 10 to the 12-yard line. Gain of a couple. Trace Armstrong on the stop. It will be third down at about 6. Well, one thing the Packers are doing is they're running away from this guy, number 95, Richard Dent. To the right side, behind Weingrad and Hallstrom. And the Bears are doing a nice job of bottling up that run. Good idea to run away from that guy. Coming off a tremendous game against the Rams. He's the leader of that defense maybe now. Third and 6. And Mikowski is sacked for the third time today. Trace Armstrong and McMichael in a loss of 6. This is the other #1 pick for the Bears this year. Trace Armstrong's going to pick up his third sack of the year as he's working against Rutgers. And this is one of those sacks where they got to share that one. Two guys, they both get to split that. Each get a half. How's that? A half a sack. Fair enough. Packers scored on their first possession of the game on a touchdown. The last 4 have all ended in punts. Bracken and McKinnon. And McKinnon, when he caught the ball, gave the Bears great field position. And his 9-yard return inside the 35 makes it even better for Chicago. And right now, Maury Buford, the punter for the Bears, is out kicking Don Bracken, the punter for the Packers. Bracken's got the wind at his back, only got off a 39-yarder. With the 9-yard return of McKinnon, the Bears are in great shape. And you talk about what could decide a game like this, like turnovers, big plays, mistakes. Punting could too. The kicking game's very important in a game like this. First and 10 on the 34 of Green Bay. Harbaugh chased by Noble. And a tough hit and a personal foul flag is thrown against Robert Brown. And that will get the tempers on both sides going. Now this will make the newsreel at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, I guarantee you. Robert Brown with a real cheap shot on Jim Harbaugh, going to the head with the right-handed club. Bad time and a bad place for a personal foul like that. We'll take a couple of looks at this one. After the call.
Foul, low to the head, number 93 defense, touchdown.
Number 93 with the right arm to the head. Well out of bounds. And this really cost his ball club dearly, because the Bears are now inside the 15. Packers have led since the first quarter, but the Bears are threatening to take the lead. Neil Anderson is wide to the right as a receiver on first down. Harbaugh. And he's sacked for the first time today. Harris and Anderson Well, with that hit from Robert Brown on Jim Harbaugh did is it fired up this Packer defense. Tim Harris is number 97 from the right side of your screen. Just whips Covert right now. Gets his 8.5 sack of the year and fires off his 6 guns.
Loss of 7 yards and a little helmet bump to top it off. 2nd down and 17. Here's Harbaugh. And his pass intended for Wendell Davis is incomplete. And again, he had a run for his life. Harbaugh.
This time it was Johnny Holland that laid it to Harbaugh. Ditka checking on his condition here, also giving him a play.
3rd down and 17. 3rd and 17 for the Bears.
But the hitting has picked up. Just a touch.
And it wasn't velvet glove style in the first half.
That's for sure.
They spread the field, the Bears. And Harbaugh is ridden out of bounds by Harris as all the receivers were covered. The Packers defense, which has been maligned, even though they're 4-4, has come up big against the Bears in this critical game thus far.
And we'll see if the wind will affect Kevin Butler as he's going to line it up for a 37-yarder.
See the flags at the top of the pole. He's going against the wind, holding his Tomzak. And the field goal attempt is good. And that's 20 in a row by Kevin Butler. The NFL record is 23, held by Mark Mosley, and it is now 7-6 Green Bay.
And Butler drills this one, and he shows everybody he's got some 6 guns to shoot off too.
37 yards. Enjoying this game thus far as the Packer defense settled for the field goal by Butler, and it's a 1-point Packer lead.
Not only did they hold, but the Bears had first down on the 14-yard line. The actual line of scrimmage for that field goal was the 19, so they pushed it back 5 yards.
Butler with a squib, picked up by Vince Workman, and he is hit at the 30-yard line by Dick Shapura. 9:25 remaining, and all of a sudden, players going out after each other. This is the 138th time these teams have met, dating back to 1921. That was the scoring drive by the Bears. At the Packers field, they prevented a touchdown.
That's the most important thing. They still lead this ball game 7-6.
Don Makowski with Woodside and Fullwood, and now Woodside goes wide to the right. Play fake. On the run, Makowski is trying to get it to Sterling Sharp. Incomplete, and Wolford was shadowing him again as he has the entire game.
And you get the impression there that Sharp knew that Wolford was right behind him. He was thinking about making that grab and maybe making a reverse pivot and getting away from him. But he is very aware that Wolford is right behind him on almost every pass play.
Mike Singletary in the defensive huddle. Second down and 10 from the 30. Quick toss, land in to Perry Kemp. He makes the catch. Good for about 7 yards. John Roper makes the stop, and Brent Musburger will have an update of another game in New York. Brent?
Dick, we want to keep you up to date on Detroit against Houston because the Lions' performance so far has been spectacular. Watch this defensive touchdown. There'll be a second fumble, and here's William White. Now, The Oilers, after the kickoff, have marched back down inside the 10, but they trail it by 10 points. Let's go back to Dick.
Well, you knew sooner or later Detroit would explode against somebody. That's a battle of the run-and-shoot offenses down there.
Right. Third down and 4. Fontenot in the backfield. Makowski going up on top for Query. Defended by Lemuel Stinson. And that'll bring up 4th down. And the Packers will kick.
Wonderful coverage there from Lemuel Stinson on Query as he was all over him. That ball was thrown well, but the coverage was just too tight. Query tried to make a leaping grab, but Stinson was all over him.
McKinnon is back to receive the punt. Don Bracken to kick. Punt by Don Bracken. And this will roll into the end zone. Sensational kick of 63 yards by Bracken. And the Bears will get their hands on the ball again from their 20 when we return to Lambeau Field. 7th ranked Miami against the Pitt Panthers. Some of you, Air Force and BYU, live 2:30 Eastern. CFA football on CBS Sports. Bears first down on the 20. Trailing 7-6. Muster gets maybe 1 or 2. We're at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, where the Bears have won the last 8 games in this series against the Packers. Dick Stockton and Dan Fouts reporting. 8:01 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and the Packers have a 1-point lead, clinging to the slimmest of margins. Minnesota raises their lead now to 18-7 over to the Rams. Vikings and Bears came in tied for the lead in the division. 2nd and 8. Harbaugh. Chased by Harris. Penalty marker down as he throws it out of bounds. Muster was the closest receiver, but there's a flag. It'll be against the Bears, holding.
And that's just as good as a sack, because that pushes the Bears even deeper in their own territory. Question is, will the Packers accept it, or will they decline it and bring up 3rd down and long?
Holding, 74 offense, 2nd down.
Jim Colbert. Tim Harris working double time today.
He's getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and Harbaugh, because he's such a good athlete, has been avoiding him. But part of that double time that Harris is working is he's working these, about 56,000 here. Never seen quite a relationship between a crowd and a player as they have here between Green Bay fans and Tim Harris.
2nd and 18. Harbaugh up the middle to Thornton, and a fine catch by James Thornton, and a 1st down for the Bears to the 35-yard line. 22-yard gain. Cecil and Noble combined.
This is Harbaugh's best pass of the day, and he gets good protection again as Thornton is going down the middle on the post pattern. But this ball is perfect, right over Noble's head, into Thornton's hands, and then he's got to hang on and take that big hit from Chuck Cecil.
He comes out of the game as Cap Boso comes in with the play, the other tight end. 1st down and another deep throw, and this one is caught by Dennis Gentry, deep into Packer territory. 46 yards. The biggest play of the game, Dave Brown on the stop, a big Gentry catch.
2 outstanding passes in a row for Harbaugh. Watch how he throws this long ball on a line. He knows that he had the last long pass held up by the wind. This one he throws it not with as high a trajectory, and that's right on Gentry's fingertips. And the Bears are in business on the 20. This ball is cutting through that wind, and that's just right where you want it.
First catch of the game for the leading receiver of the Bears, Gentry. 1st and 10 on the 20. Mustard stopped by Noble after picking up about 2 or 3. Under 6 minutes remaining.
Dennis Gentry just seems to keep making all the big plays for the Bears, whether it's as a kick returner, as he did last week against the Rams, or lining up in the nickel situation in the backfield, running from a direct snap from center, or making the catch as a wide receiver. This guy is the most underrated player on this team.
The Bears have dominated the offense this quarter. We're in the 3rd. Anderson is out right as a receiver now on 2nd and 7. Harbaugh to Muster, and the Bears will get another first down inside the Packer 10. Brian Noble made the tackle.
And what's making it all possible for the Bears is their offensive line. They have overcome a holding penalty to start this drive. They've given Harbaugh excellent protection the last 3 passes he's tried. And Jim Harbaugh is really reading the defense well, going to a secondary receiver when his primary guy is covered.
1st and goal at the 9. And the pitch to Neil Anderson. Gets a couple. Johnny Holland on the stop. That will bring up 2nd down.
Johnny Holland is number 50, and he's making Neil Anderson pay for every yard he gets today. Ball is in the left hand for Anderson, and that's a helmet-to-helmet shot there for Holland.
Bears have not had the lead in this game, but they're threatening now. Ball is at the 7-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal. Harbaugh on the draw to Muster. Brad Muster gets down to about the 2-yard line. Bob Nelson, the Packer nose tackle, makes the stop, and it'll be 3rd and goal, Chicago.
One thing that Muster gives you at being 6'3" and 230 pounds is a lot of momentum when he hits the hole. And this is the type of guy that's always going to be falling forward, and because he has long arms, he has the ability to stretch for extra yardage.
3rd and goal. Again, it's Muster, and he's in for the touchdown. And the Chicago Bears have forged in front for the first time this afternoon on Brad Muster's 2-yard touchdown run.
This is a simple trap play up the middle as Bortz pulls and kicks out on Noble. There's the hole, and Muster's through it into the end zone, and the Bears got the lead.
Nothing fancy for Chicago after those 2 long pass plays. Now Kevin Butler for the extra point. Tomzak holds. The kick is good. And the Bears go 80 yards and take their first lead. And Mike Ditka's club leading 13-7 with 3:03 remaining in the 3rd. Bears lead the Packers now 13-7. 3:03 remaining in the 3rd quarter. There's the scoring drive, but back-to-back pass plays from Harbaugh to Thornton and Gentry netted 68 yards.
And they really had to go farther than that 80 yards. They had that penalty that pushed them back to the 12-yard line, so they actually had an 88-yard drive.
Butler kicking off. He's got Workman and Query, and it's heading over to Query at the 7. Runs into a bunch of white shirts at the 25-yard line.
Take a look at the touchdown, and number 62 is Mark Bortz, and watch him trap on number 91, Brian Noble here. That opens the hole for Muster, and at 235 pounds, they're not going to stop him.
So now the Packers trail. First time they had the ball, they went 72 yards. Since then, they have averaged only 12 yards in 6 possessions as Mark Murphy leaves the field. He wanted to come back. Mild concussion. First down Pack on their 25. Mikowski with a good fake. And his pass batted away. Wolford. And you know the man he's been on, Sterling Sharp, incomplete, and Wolford has just blanketed Sharp today.
Well, he really has. You can just feel his confidence starting to grow. That was a big assignment for him last week, going against Henry Ellard. He kept Ellard out of the end zone, and so far today, he's done an outstanding job on Sharp. Sharp's only come away with 1 catch.
Mikowski has hit on only 1 of his last 6 passing attempts. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And on a fake reverse, penalty markers fly as the pass to Fullwood is wide of the wide open receiver. And Mikowski has a problem. Let's see where the penalty goes.
It's going to be against our boy Wolford working against Sterling Sharp.
Holding, and that'll be an automatic first down for Green Bay.
A little over-aggressive by Wolford.
Holding, 21 defense, first down.
Let's take a look at it. As Sharp working against the bump and run releases, and that's the holding call. Good call by the referees.
And that's the first down for the Packers here in this quarter with 2:45 remaining. Penalties are all even as Michael Haddix reports for the game. Mikowski chased by McMichael and overthrows his tight end Ed West, but McMichael came in with a fine inside pass rush. Check the scores for you, and in that Minnesota Rams game, Rich Karlis has set a Minnesota record with 6 field goals this afternoon.
Well, a good field goal kicker is like a closer in baseball out of the bullpen. Win a lot of games for you.
Jets beating New England. Houston coming closer against Detroit. Kansas City, a surprise thus far against Seattle. 2nd and 10, Sterling Sharp to the bottom of your picture, right there with Wolford. Mikowski goes the other way and hits Perry Kemp. Kemp is within 3 yards of the first down. Marcus Paul, the rookie from Syracuse, making the immediate tackle.
Well, watch how Mikowski comes out looking to his left for Sterling Sharp. Good coverage by Wolford again on Sharp. Mikowski goes to the other side to Kemp. He makes the catch and pays for it.
It'll be 3rd down and 2. Perry Kemp with 3 catches this afternoon. Out of the shotgun, Herman Fontenot is the lone back. And Mikowski completes the pass to Fontenot. And it'll be a Packer first down at the 48. Singletary on the stop, a gain of 10 yards.
Well, Fontenot came to the Packers in a draft day trade. A big trade for Lindy Infante because this fella here knows this system and is very valuable in it. We expected to see him more today in the running back position, but this is really his strong suit, is receptions. As you can see, he is so dangerous. Great athlete with a real understanding of what his head coach wants.
And the Packers also got a #1 pick coming up from the Browns, who wanted Lawyer Tillman badly enough in this draft. First down on the Green Bay 48. Pressure. Having to get rid of it. Kemp was downfield with Bestie Jackson, and Mikowski didn't have any time except to just sling it.
Well, pressure is a key word there as Mike Singletary came on the blitz right up the middle. And Mikowski is just not having enough time to set his feet today, which all quarterbacks want to do. The bare pressure, although they've only sacked him twice, has been outstanding.
Second down and 10. Bears have dominated the offensive yardage battle. the tight end makes the grab inside the 40 for a gain of 14 and his first catch of the game. Marcus Paul on the stop.
But maybe Mikowski doesn't need to set his foot. He may be one of the better, well, he is one of the better athletes playing quarterback in this game. Watch how he just drifts back into the pocket, very calmly watches West, and now throwing, fading away, just lofts that ball in perfect to his tight end.
Under a minute remaining in the third quarter. Keep in mind that when we go to the fourth quarter, the Bears will have the wind at their back. First and 10 on the Bears 38. Quick toss to Woodside. Ridden out of bounds. 2 yards shy of a first down by Marcus Paul, who's playing today in place of the injured Sean Gale, who's out with a torn chest muscle.
And you get the feeling Mikowski is getting his rhythm. He's hit a couple in a row now. The Packers are starting to move. They've picked up a couple of first downs here now, and he feels very confident.
Came in today leading the NFL in passing yardage and in touchdowns thrown with 16.
He's really done a lot of work studying this game and become what Lindy Infante calls a student of the game.
Second down and 2. Brent Fullwood has a big hole off the right side and crashes through for a Packer first down at the 20. Perry and Paul on the stop, the pickup of 10.
First down for the Packers.
And the Packers are continuing to pound the right side of their line, the Bears' left side, going against the rookie Trace Armstrong.
And they're going to let the clock run out. This is the Green Bay drive thus far.
I'm not so sure that's a good idea, running this clock all the way out. I'd like to have one more play with the wind at my back if I'm the quarterback out there.
Well, now the Bears will have the wind to their advantage as time runs out in the third quarter. And that is the end of the third quarter with the score. The Bears 13 and the Packers 7. We now pause for a word from your local station. The Bears lead the Packers. Fourth quarter is normally Green Bay's quarter with 76 points, their best, but Chicago has scored more points in the fourth quarter than in any other. First and 10 at the 20. Mikowski loses the ball. Fumble. And we may have our first turnover of the game. We do. The Bears have recovered. Ron Rivera makes the recovery for Chicago. And it was John Roper who slapped it away from Mikowski.
Our first turnover of the afternoon, and this is a big one as the Packers were threatening, but Roper comes in on the blitz. Number 55, he'll knock the ball out of Mikowski's hand. But one thing you want to watch is that as the ball's laying on the ground, watch Mikowski take a swipe at it. That keeps Rivera from picking it up and maybe scoring.
So with the lead and the ball, the Bears with Thomas Sanders and Matt Suhey in the backfield, starting from their 27. And the give is to Suhey up to the 30. Brian Noble on the stop, a pickup of 3.
But if you go back to when the Packers let the clock run out at the end of the third quarter, what that did is that stole some momentum away from the Packers. They had a nice rhythm going of having a successful play, getting back in the huddle, breaking the huddle, getting up in the line of scrimmage, having another successful play, and then they take 40 seconds off the clock where everything stops, everything comes to a complete halt, and they have to reestablish the momentum again. And the Bears, instead, they came out and made the big play.
Second down and 7, Chicago from their 30. They got kind of lethargic in Logie. Harbaugh. And wide open is Matt Suhey, and dives forward to the first down at the 40 by John Anderson on the stop. Pick up that time of 10. Defensively for the Packers, their front three has a different look. Matt Brock and Robert Brown are the ends. Brown has played the whole game, and Jerry Boyarski, the nose tackle, he has been in at spots for the Packers.
Chicago fullbacks today have caught 8 passes out of the backfield. That tells me that Harbaugh is doing a nice job of finding the open guy.
First down at the 40. Thomas Sanders driving outside, picking up nearly 5 yards on that time. Matt Brock and Mark Lee make the tackle on Sanders.
The offensive line for the Packers getting instructions on the sidelines, trying to figure out, hey, whose man was Roper? Came on the blitz, knocked the ball out of Mikowski's hand. Well, could have been my guy, Coach. Yeah, I'll get him next time.
Tony Mandarich, one of those watching. He hasn't played. 2nd and 5 at the 45. Up the middle and a first down. Matt Suhey carries into Packer territory. And now the Bears chewing up the clock. Ever since they hit those 2 long passes to Thornton and Gentry to set up their go-ahead touchdown, they have kept the ball on the ground effectively.
Well, and Suhey's a real veteran of these wars. 10 years for the Bears. Took a big hit from Mark Murphy in that first half. Appears to be okay. I know he was a little groggy, though.
He looked that way on the sideline. 1st and 10 at the 47. There again is Matt Suhey getting good blocking up front. Suhey picks up nearly 5. And now for an NFL Today update, Brent Musburger in New York. Right?
Dick, we got a seesaw one down in the Astrodome. The Oilers have regained the lead on the Lions. Time running out in the 3rd quarter. Moon with good protection. He hits Drew Hill from 7 yards out. 28-24. Oilers over the Lions. Back to Dick.
A real barn burner in the barn. The Astrodome.
A dome burner.
2nd down and 6 for the Bears. Suhey, the workhorse, brings it down to the 40-yard line where it'll be 3rd and short. Johnny Holland on the tackle.
Well, you talked about the different substitutions that the Packers have made on their defensive line. They may not have enough players up there to go against this Bear offensive line, which is just doing an outstanding job controlling that line of scrimmage and really setting the tempo in this 4th quarter.
Blaze Winter has replaced Matt Brock at defensive end. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for Chicago. Early here in the 4th quarter. Again, the direct snap to Gentry. Penalty marker down. Dennis Gentry will have the first down if the flag is against the Packers. And the preliminary signal is it is against Chicago. Man in motion. Twice today they've tried that play.
Yeah, and penalties really hurt, and the effect is so magnified.
78 offense. 3rd down.
Keith Van Horn.
The ill effects of that penalty, what it does is it costs you a first down. Now it puts you, instead of having 1st and 10 on about the 35, they've got 3rd and about 8, and that's a tough situation for any quarterback.
It's 3rd and 7, and also you're out of field goal range as a result of that penalty, too. Reverse to Gentry, and he's hit hard, and a loss on the play, and the Packer defense holds Ron Pitts and Scott Stephen. Pitts a defensive back, Stephen a linebacker, and it's 4th down.
Gentry's number 29 here is going to take the handoff on this is the old Statue of Liberty play, and he's going to get the old helicopter tackle right there. Ron Pitts and Scott Stephen team up on that one.
Maury Buford, who has punted superbly today. And Jeff Query is deep for the Packers. And another good kick as it bounces and dies at the 10. The previous 2 punts by Buford were down at the 4. The last one was down at the 8, and this one drops at the 10.
Great directional punting and a lot of luck.
15 passes. Didier caught the touchdown reception for the lone score for the Packers. It's 13-7 with 9:11 to go in the fourth quarter in a game in which we've had only 1 turnover, a tough one against the Packers.
Well, we talked about how that might determine the outcome of this game, being it's only a 6-point lead. The Packers were threatening here to take the lead, and Roper comes in on the blitz, blindsides Mikowski, and causes the only turnover of this ball game.
But the Packer defense held the Bears, and now Green Bay, facing the wind, has a first down on their 10. Mikowski out to Fullwood, and a foot race. Brent Fullwood with a 67-yard catch and run, mostly run. Rivera and Durson bring him down.
We're talking about mature quarterbacks, and this is a great play by Mikowski. He could have run this ball and maybe picked up 10 or 15 yards, but he sees Brent Fullwood, and this is what Fullwood gets paid for. Nice cut back there. It appeared he might go all the way, but Bessie Jackson did a nice job of slowing him up.
Brent Fullwood, 76 yards on the day, and a 1st and 10 on the 23 of Chicago. Here's Haddix. Michael Haddix may have another Green Bay first down inside the 15. Bestie Jackson on the stop.
Well, our running backs today are having outstanding afternoons. Haddix comes out of the backfield and catches this latest pass from Mikowski. Fullwood, 67-yarder, has got this crowd back into the ball game and also has the Packers inside the 15.
And Haddix is the 9th receiver to catch a pass for the Packers, and that's part of Infante's idea to spread the wealth.
And another Plan B acquisition in the offseason. Not much drop-off when Haddix comes in the game for Fullwood.
First down on the 13 of the Bears. The pass to Woodside. He makes the reception. Dave Duerson drives him out of bounds for practically no gain after all of that.
This has really turned into a chess game between these coordinators. Vince Tobin comes with the blitz that time for the Bears. Forces a short completion for the Packers, but it's back and forth. Strategies, one to blitz, one to play zone, one to come after him, one to play it soft.
Tobin and Infante went against each other in the USFL.
A lot of familiarity between both these ball clubs.
2nd and 9, 2 tight ends for the Packers. Mikowski in trouble. Intercepted by Rivera. And Ron Rivera makes a critical interception. He recovered the fumble moments ago for the Bears, and now he picks one off.
Watch the pressure on Mikowski from number 76, Steve McMichael. And then Mikowski just makes a bad decision, trying a little bit too hard to make the completion here, and he drills Rivera between the 5 and the 9, and that's the second big play for Rivera and his 2nd interception of the year. Not sure where he wanted to go with that pass, but it didn't end up where he wanted it.
Mikowski is beside himself on the sideline. The Bears with a first down on the 10. Harbaugh going deep for Wendell Davis and covered by Dave Brown.
Well, the Bears are going for the knockout punch on that long bomb right after a turnover, trying to get a quick 6.
There is Cap Boso coming in with the play from the sideline. Packers had their deepest penetration since the opening drive of the game before Mikowski threw it away, and Rivera has figured in both big turnovers in this game for the Bears.
Well, now it's one thing that Lindy and Fonnie said yesterday to us is, hey, turnovers will kill us in this game. We can't afford to have any. They've had 2 deep in Bear territory.
And now Harbaugh wants to talk things over, and the Bears call a timeout. Their first timeout of this half. 7 minutes remain, fourth quarter. 13-7 Chicago. 13-7 Chicago. 7 minutes to go. The Bears on their 10. It'll be second down. Penalty marker down on the draw play. Neil Anderson gets a couple of yards to the 14. Brian Noble on the stop. Tom Dooley, our referee.
An illegal shift. 2 offensive men moving at the same time.
Boy, this has really got to eat Ditka up on the sidelines. Motion penalties and shifting penalties are just something that are inexcusable. The Bears cannot afford to, with this field position, to have these types of mistakes. They don't want to put Harbaugh in too many of these situations.
It'll be third down. They decline the penalty. Although I have to say that Iron Mike looks pretty calm out there today.
Calm before the storm, maybe.
Minnesota leading the Rams 18-7. Close game in Atlanta. And the rest of the scores. 3rd and 6. 3rd and 6. Harbaugh will run for it. And Jim Harbaugh, with a great piece of running, gets a first down and more. 22-yard gain past the 35-yard line before Ken Stills brings him down.
Maybe that's why Ditka was so calm on the sideline. This is the added dimension of Jim Harbaugh as a quarterback, his ability to run with the ball. At one point in his career, definitely a better runner than a passer. But what an interesting gamble that the Packers defense made there in declining that penalty. Would have brought up a 2nd and 15, yet they only they took the play, and it was 3rd and 6.
That one backfired on them. First down on the Bears, 37. Mustard to the 40. Tim Harris on the stop. At the conclusion of today's game, we will select a player of the game from each team who will be candidates for the National Miller Lite Player of the Week honors.
Tough decision right now.
Number 40, 2nd and 7.
Mustard would be one of the candidates.
Ron Rivera, another.
Packers have a few of their own in a 13-7 game. Bears lead. It'll be second down and 7. Gentry in motion. Play fake, and the pass nearly intercepted by Brian Noble. He had it in his hands.
Brian Noble intercepting the pass.
A lot of play action passes today for both ball clubs. Here Harbaugh is going to fake the underneath handoff to Mustard and try to slip this one into the zone there to McKinnon. But Brian Noble couldn't quite get 2 hands up, or he might have had an interception.
I was going to say he had it in his hand, not hands. McKinnon goes out wide to the right. Third down and 7. Anderson split left. Harbaugh's pass incomplete, intended for Morris. John Anderson was defending. The pass was thrown behind Morris, and that'll be 4th down.
Well, this should set up quite a finish to this ball game. We've got just under 5 minutes to go, and the Packers should get the ball in pretty good field position.
Greg Landry, the offensive coordinator, who To our point here, has not been calling the plays. Mike Ditka has over there with Harbaugh. Query is back to return Buford's kick. They let it bounce, and it goes out of bounds at the 27-yard line. 33 yards, but Buford, if the Bears win, has to be one of their heroes. Back to Lambeau Field in a moment.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. The most famous play in Green Bay history was a quarterback sneak, but it was the Packer power sweep that made them champions. The ultimate team play, the power sweep called for the pulling of both guards, who would create a path to the end zone. For the play to work, each man had to perform his function perfectly. Usually this team did, and the result made the Green Bay Packers the best they can be.
Here at Lambeau Field, the Bears with a 6-point lead, 13-7 over the Packers, 4:44 to go. Packers have turned it over twice here in the fourth quarter, still alive though as they start from their 27. Haddix is the lone running back. Flag is down and the pass batted away, might have been Dent. And it was incomplete, but there's a penalty.
Well, Sterling Sharp was way offsides. Real mental error there. He better be apologizing.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Offside, Green Bay. Penalty is declined. Second down.
Well, although we didn't get a number, the ball will be snapped right about now.
And Wolford is saying it's on you.
Put the brakes on, Sterling.
It'll be second down and 10.
Well, no time ran off the clock.
Operator, please reset the clock to 4:40.
But that's a home field advantage. Because the clock operator lives somewhere here in the Bay Area. I think.
He's got to go home to somewhere here in the Green Bay area. Second down and 10 for the Packers on their 27. Woodside, who moves out as a receiver, number 33. And Haddix, the lone back now. Makowski gets out of trouble, hits Perry Kemp. And Kemp gets hit himself, but not before he gets 25 yards into Bear territory. For an NFL Today update, quickly, let's go to Brendan, New York. Brent?
And Dick, just as quickly, here's how the Rams pulled back into it. Now 6 minutes to go on this touchdown pass. Keep in mind that the Vikes have 6 field goals and the Rams 2 touchdown passes. Minnesota still unable to score a touchdown. Back to Dick. Under 5 to go, Dick.
All right, Brent, so both games are under 5 minutes to go. First down on the 47 of the Bears, who lead 13-7. Makowski has it batted in the air. McMichael may have intercepted. And Ed West may have picked it up. And it's still going to be Green Bay ball.
Heads up play by Ed West as McMichael had the best shot at this deflection. And I think he just came in and stole it from him. Number 86 is Ed West. 76 is Steve McMichael. The ball is deflected by the fridge. Ball goes up in the air. There's McMichael. And the ball went right through his hands, and Ed West makes the grab.
A phenomenally alert play by Ed West. It is second down and 10. Pass caught by Aubrey Matthews. And Matthews will have a Green Bay first down. And Brent Fullwood is having his thigh taped right now. And he's finished for the day, but maybe not the Packers.
Well, that's the hamstring, and you got to wonder if he pulled his hamstring on that 67-yard catch and run he made earlier in this fourth quarter. But what we're seeing now is that never say die attitude of the Packers.
Sterling Sharp is at the top of your picture. First down, Packers on the Bear 36. Makowski looking for Kemp. Covered by Vesti Jackson. And that will bring up second down, and that catch by Aubrey Matthews made him the 10th receiver for Makowski today.
Well, that's the system. Lindy Infante has installed an outstanding passing scheme, and what it does is it gives the players, especially this man right here, confidence in all his outlets, all his receivers. The Packers are there's no quit in this ball club. They've been involved in a lot of close games this year. Their record in close games is 3 wins and 3 losses. And this is as close as it gets.
Second down and 10. Up the middle, and Ed West, the big tight end, keeps it going for Green Bay. Inside the Bear 20. Marcus Paul. And a gain that time of 18 yards.
You know, Makowski's thrown the ball over 35 times today, and what that has done is it's kind of worn down the pass rush of the Bears. You haven't seen a whole lot of pressure from Dent and the guys up front as we come to the 2-minute warning.
Vince Tobin trying to find an answer to Green Bay's offensive show. 2-minute warning. We'll be back in a moment. Here at Lambeau Field, the Packers are on the march. They have a 1st and 10 on the Bears 19, trailing by 6, 13-7. The last 2 drives, Packers got inside Chicago 20, but they turned it over.
And you wonder where Makowski is going to go with this pass. Well, I'm sure he doesn't even know right now because of the way the Lindy Infante system works. He's got to read the defense. The defense will tell him who his primary receiver is after the ball snap.
The draw play, Makowski's pass, incomplete, intended for Sterling Sharp. Covering on the play was Wolford.
Good pressure from Trace Armstrong on Makowski. Forces him to get rid of the ball sooner than he wanted to.
Last home win against the Bears was in December of '83. It's been a long time. In fact, 8 straight losses the Packers have suffered against the Bears.
That's the type of score many people expected to see today, a high-scoring game. Not so.
Second down and 10. Green Bay still has all of its timeouts to go. Makowski, Woodside, hemmed in and out of bounds at the 15. Keep in mind that Green Bay needs a touchdown. A field goal won't do. Vesti Jackson and Marcus Paul that time stops the clock with 1:49 showing.
An interesting play selection for the defense, playing a lot more zone. In fact, dropping off into a short zone to the outside was number 95, Richard Dent. Normally you see him putting pressure on the quarterback, but Vince Tobin had him dropping off in coverage that time.
Third down and 6. Makowski's pass. Let's see if it's caught. And apparently it is by Herman Fontenot. And if so, it's going to be awfully close to a first down, and they may need a measurement. The clock continues to run. And now Green Bay will use up a timeout. Their first of the second half.
Okay, this is Richard Dent. Watch the job that Rutgers does, blocking him first, and then Stinson comes on the blitz, and Rutgers is going to actually pick him up, block 2 men on 1 play. There's the first block. Now he sees Stinson coming, pushes him away, and gives Makowski the time for the completion. Big play for an offensive tackle.
The Packers have not beaten a winning team this year, despite their best start in 6 years. Sorely looking for a win against their big rivals in the Central Division. They're going to measure it, and if they're short, the Packers obviously have to go for it on 4th down.
Well, they got a lot of time, 1.5 minutes. They still have 2 timeouts left. They're well within striking range for Makowski. So they got to pick up this first down on 4th here. That's the primary objective now.
short by inches. Tony Mandarich has replaced Alan Weingrad at right tackle. Mandarich reporting late. Not having much to do this season. And he's in there now, big number 77. There he is on the right. It'll be 4th and less than a yard. And the game hinges from the Packers standpoint right here. Vince Workman, the rookie from Ohio State, has a first down for the Packers.
Well, Workman's got fresh legs. He went well over the top here. But watch who they run behind. That big fella you were talking about, number 77, Tony Mandarich, earning some of those millions. Ron Hallstrom also with an outstanding block. And Workman picks up a big first down.
And the Packers will use their second timeout, leaving them with one. First carry of the game for Vince Workman. And it was Mandarich who threw the key block, getting encouragement on the sideline.
The old pat on the back.
Now Vince Tobin looking for an answer. This is the Packers' deepest penetration since the opening drive. First and goal at the 7. Mikowski loses the ball. Packers recover, and several Bears had an opportunity to fall on it, but they didn't know the ball had been jarred loose. Blair Bush, the center, was alert.
And the clock is running. Another big play for the Bears as they strip the ball out of Mikowski's hand as it appeared he was going to take off running. John Roper kicked it out of his hand with his right foot. Heads up Blair Bush. Keeps the Packers alive.
Less than a minute to play. Second and goal, back to the 14. And the pass intended for Woodside, broken up. Dave Duerson. And it's third down and goal.
The only problem with that play is if Woodside had made the grab, he would have been tackled short of the end zone. The Packers would have had to hurry up to the line of scrimmage or burn their last timeout because he wasn't going to get in the end zone with that play.
Drive started on the Packer 27. The 12th play of this drive coming up now. Third and goal at the 14. Bears leading 13-7. Mikowski. And it was deflected by Richard Dent. Marcus Paul also blitzing, and it's fourth down.
We talked about when to blitz, when to play back in the zone. Watch this side of the line here as they bring the Marcus Paul on the safety blitz along with Richard Dent. They're right in Mikowski's face. The Bears have answered every challenge in this fourth quarter. Pack have been down here before, been turned away.
The Packers have used their last timeout. They have a fourth down from their 14-yard line and must get into the end zone. And the Chicago Bear defense has simply decided to bear down in a big way after the Packers had first and goal at the 7. They have just clamped down.
Well, this man here deserves a lot of credit, Vince Tobin. It seems like he has been able to predict the type of play that the Packers have run and had the right defense called for it. One thing right here now, the Packers must throw this ball into the end zone. They cannot afford to have a receiver catch the ball short of the end zone and then try to run it in for the winning touchdown.
Lambeau Field, Green Bay, Dick Stockton and Dan Fouts. Packers down to their last attempt, trailing the Bears 13-7 in the big Central Division battle. Throws, touchdown! Sterling Sharp. But a penalty marker is down.
Mikowski was over the line of scrimmage when he let it go.
And are they going to be disappointed here? Lindy and Fondy knows it.
Well, the passer is beyond the line of scrimmage, and it's lost it down. First down.
And the Bears take over.
Heartbreaking for Mikowski. Watch him buy time and throw a beautiful pass across the grain to Sharp in the end zone, but he is over the line of scrimmage when he lets it go. If he had let it rip right there, it would have been good, but he pulled it back down. Sharp comes from across the field, finds a hole in the middle here.
Mike Singletary just went over to Mikowski and gave him a word of encouragement, because I think Mikowski had to impress a lot of the Bears today. But the Bears are going to hold on and win this game and run out the clock.
No magic for Magic today. Couple of turnovers deep in Bear territory, and then a mistake as he's just trying his hardest to get the winning points up there.
They're reviewing the tape right now, and you can take a look yourself.
The line of scrimmage was the 14-yard line. And I don't know. I think we got to take a look at this, because his right foot was on the 15 when he let it go. Take it again now. Remember, the 14-yard line is the line of scrimmage. He approaches the 15. There's the pump fake. Oh, that's a good play. That's a touchdown.
Well, the game will hinge on this call. Pure and simple.
Watch this right foot. Clearly on the 15-yard line. When he lands, he's well inside the 15, but that's a touchdown. And this place is going to go crazy if they reverse it.
Well, this is the first time that the game actually hinges on that one call. If it goes Green Bay's way, they have a chance to win it with a conversion. If it doesn't,
and it's unfortunate for these fans here at Lambeau Field not to have a big replay board so that they can see the same thing we saw. The replay officials are up in the booth next to us looking at this on these two televisions you see there. The problem, one of the problems with the replay system is that those televisions are only 12-inch screens, very, very small. But I don't care what size screen you're looking at, that appears to be a touchdown. Let's take a look at it one more time and circle his foot and help the referees make their decision. That is the 15.
You know, they're going on 2 minutes. And, you know, in a situation like this, if they have to wait 5 or 10 minutes, it's worth it to get the right call, I think.
I don't know what's taking them so long.
Don't forget, they have to have good reason to overturn the official's decision.
Here it comes.
We have a reversal. Touchdown.
Jackie has to be successful on the conversion to break this tie with 32 seconds to go. And he goes. Lead it 14-13.
Now this is what makes this the all-time rivalry in all of football, NFL, college, whatever. Memorable plays.
Sterling Sharp with the reception, and it's 14-13 after a reversal of an official's call that had a direct bearing on this game. And the Rams have moved in front of the Vikings 21-18, so we could be close to a possible three-way tie for first place in the NFC Central. Right now, here's the story. But if Minnesota loses and the Packers hold on with 32 seconds to go, we'll have a three-way tie at the top.
And a very happy little village here in Wisconsin.
Keep in mind, the Bears still have 2 timeouts remaining. Dennis Gentry and Thomas Sanders go back to receive the kickoff by Chris Jackie. Sanders. And he's down at the 24 with 25 seconds to go.
You know, I've never really been a big fan of instant replays. We may have a convert here today, because that is a great illustration of the way they want it to work. Make the right call. Took a lot of guts for them to take all that time sitting up there in the booth to make that reversal.
First down on the 24. 4 wide receivers. Harbaugh completes the pass to Wendell Davis and stops the clock with 19 seconds, a gain of 17 yards. So we have seen this place go from bedlam to despair, back to bedlam again after the reversal.
Well, and remember now that if Butler gets in field goal range, he'll have this win at his back. His career long is 52 yards, which he's done 3 times, all 3 times against the Packers.
Still have 2 timeouts left, the Bears. Going for broke. Pass downfield was broken up by Mark Lee, intended for Davis again. But a penalty marker is down. And it's against Chicago. Holding.
Holding. Number 73 offense. First down.
John Wojciechowski. Butler is number 6 in that crowd and looking to get an opportunity to bring the Bears home. But right now the Bears need 35 yards for Butler to try a 52-yarder.
That wasn't a crowd, that was the refrigerator.
Oh, he blocked him out anyway. First down and 20. Ball is at the Bears 30. the 20. Tim Harris. Rich Karlis has just kicked another field goal, his 7th, to tie the game in Minnesota. Rams in Minnesota are tied at 21 late in the 4th quarter.
And this NFC Central Division has all of a sudden become the most exciting in football.
9 seconds on the clock. And that field goal by Karlis ties an NFL record for most field goals in a game. 7 of them. Brent Fullwood pulled a hamstring apparently. Not before a scintillating run here in the 4th. Second down and 29. Throws it up for grabs. Now there's 1 second left.
Now they'll be firing up the hibachis and putting the bratwurst on, huh? Celebration time here in Green Bay.
They may celebrate into the night. 1 second to go.
It's been so long since they beat the Packers. 8 straight wins beat the Bears. 8 straight wins for Chicago. And this is a sweet one. Not only do they snap that streak, but hey, they're alive in this division. They're in first place if the Rams win.
And even if they don't, they're tied for second.
And even if they don't, they beat the Bears.
That's the main thing. And now the Bears will use their last timeout. Phenomenal, bizarre finish to this game. Mikowski with a touchdown pass to Sterling Sharp. He ruled he was over the line and reversed the call, giving the Packers the touchdown and the conversion, the margin here at 14-13.
And really, it's good to see Mikowski bounce back from those 2 turnovers. The Packers were inside the 20-yard line. He fumbles one time. He throws an interception the next time. But let's also remember the heads-up recovery of Mikowski's fumble by Blair Bush when John Roper kicked the ball out of Mikowski's hand, 1 play before he threw the touchdown pass.
They're in overtime. Minnesota and the Rams tied at 21. Incomplete to Anderson, and the game is over. Packers win it.